Game one of the Western Conference Finals goes to the Denver Nuggets, 132 to 126. Holy shit, what a game. More, we talked about this last night. Like, this matchup between AD and Jokic, what was it going to be like?
Yeah.
The way this game started, Jokic was playing like a man possessed. They had zero answer for him at all to start this game. But as we step away after a Denver Nuggets win, it seems like maybe the Lakers have figured something out with the adjustments they made late in that game in the fourth quarter with Rui on him. What's your big takeaway from this game one victory for the Nuggets?
Yeah, at first I thought our main takeaway was going to be the way that the Denver Nuggets came out and started this game, right? I mean, you saw the way that they were pushing in transition. They were making all their shots. They came just locked in, ready to go in that first half. And then I feel like the second half of the game, it just was a different story and a whole different angle to talk about. And that was the defensive adjustments by the Los Angeles Lakers. We'll get to their shooting in a bit as well. So not only were they making shots, but they made some great defensive adjustments. They put Rui Hachimura on Jokic, which allowed AD to just be in help. And not only was AD in help, his presence was felt in the middle and everything, but he was mostly on Aaron Gordon. And Aaron Gordon remained in that dunker spot, which just clogged things up there in the middle. Didn't allow Jokic to go to work, but also Rui being on Jokic didn't allow Jokic to really handle the ball, right? He had a smaller guy on him that was active with his hands that was going to disrupt his game. So all those adjustments, Jamal Murray looking tired at the end. Obviously, he came into this game with the illness and everything as well. But yeah, I thought the Lakers' defensive adjustments were fantastic, and their shot-making ability was also helping them out.
And that's where I give Darvin Ham a lot of credit. You make the decision. We're talking about all the possible matchups, and we mentioned the possibility of AD not defending Jokic, but we're like, well, maybe LeBron would guard him or Vanderbilt. They go with Rui Hachimura, who I thought honestly had a big impact in this game with his scoring in the first half. His size was giving Denver problems, and you're like, okay, maybe there's something there. So when Jokic, he didn't start the fourth quarter. He comes back in, and Rui's on him like, how long is this going to last? They bring AD in, and then AD's defending Jeff Green at first. He played off Jeff Green, which honestly, based on the numbers the last couple of years, made sense. Like, Jeff Green has not hit the three as efficiently as maybe earlier in his career. He's under 30% this year, has not shot it well. And he knocked down a three, and you're like, okay, this could be a spacing problem. How long can they roll with that? But to your point, when Aaron Gordon came back in the game, they kept Gordon that dunker spot, which really just clogged things. It allowed AD to go, cool. If Jokic is coming inside, I'm going to pay attention to him. I thought there was one nice play where Jokic tried to get it to Gordon the dunker spot, but AD's long, and it was a turnover.
Yeah, I think, obviously it altered his vision. Like, he couldn't see exactly where to get that ball and be precise to get it to Aaron Gordon, who ended up kind of cutting through the paint on that play. But great job by the Lakers, because they were down by as many as 21 points.
Yeah.
It felt like things did not feel inspired for them coming into this game. And I was kind of like, damn, this is actually kind of boring. I wasn't excited to watch that second half. And instead, they came back with fight. They came back with adjustments. And then on top of that, we keep talking about their defense, but their offense, Deuce, LeBron James did a good job of just seeking out Jamal Murray and was like, hey, I'm going to get that switch and go after him every single time. Nuggets, not a great job of making that adjustment early of like, hey, do you want Aaron Gordon to come over and help more? I wish they just made the adjustment to not even switch at all.
Yeah, and I thought that was another brilliant thing the Lakers did. Jamal Murray, like you said, was questionable coming to this game. Not 100%, finding illness. He's coming back, probably a little winded.
Yeah.
They were making him work offensively. Schroeder was picking his ass up full court, playing like a dog. And then the other end, he's got to deal with LeBron. By the end of this game, he was gassed. I mean, even Van Gundy on the broadcast is wondering, hey, maybe they go back to Bruce Brown here. I thought there was no chance they were going to do that, take Murray out of the game. But that looked like a problem. And I don't know if that's going to be something to watch in this series. This series is every other day, right? It's going to move fast. And if Murray is dealing with Schroeder up in him the entire game and then having to deal with the challenge of fighting through switches, fighting through screens, navigating, trying to deal with LeBron at times, like that could be a problem for Denver. The shot making tonight was phenomenal. And it's weird. We spend so much time at the start of this talking about LA when they lost the game.
Yeah.
But I think the Lakers, in some ways, have to feel good with the way they got back in this game. And it's a series. So you're looking for some adjustment you can make. They made the adjustment in game, and it worked. They outscored them in the second half. And I thought another thing they did well, by the way, the second half scoring, it was 70-60 LA. LA shot 66%. But Morgan, my favorite stat of the game, which I thought changed everything. In the first half, Denver had 17 fast break points. And 16 second chance points.
Transition defense was shit in the first half for the Lakers. Transition defense was much better, but it wasn't even transition defense because it didn't feel like the Nuggets were pushing the ball as much either.
Well, in the second half, they had 2 fast break points and 2 second chance points. That changed the game. That really changed the game. That was
obvious.
The Lakers' shot making was phenomenal, too, and so was Denver's. We'll talk about that. But I thought in the first half, Bruce Brown gave him a real lift.
16 points off the bench.
He was attacking. And I want to look at his second half numbers because I felt like we didn't see him a lot in that second half. First half, Bruce Brown plays just under 14 minutes, had 14 points. He had 4 rebounds on 5 of 9 shooting. In the second half, Bruce Brown ends up playing 10 minutes. So 3 fewer minutes, and he had 2 points, 2 assists. I just felt like he was impacting the game a lot in that first half.
He was doing well when they were playing fast, right? When they were pushing the ball in transition. And it was exactly what they needed. It started to dig that hole deeper and deeper for the Lakers, but let's also give him all the love that he deserves for the dunk of the game. Jokic almost had it with the spin move on AD, but Bruce Brown going down the middle of the key and just chucking that ball down. That was such an exciting moment for the Nuggets where you just felt like this game is all over. But it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. And that's why you give the Lakers credit. It seems like they found something. But this game, Morgan, Jokic, the guy had a triple-double halfway through the third quarter. He out-rebounded the Lakers in the first half, 16-13. That's just crazy to look at that. And so it was everything. And he did it in the ways that we expect. It was hitting threes. That 3 he hit at the end of the third over AD, you're like, really?
That was insane. But even just seeing him casually come into a pass and just knock down a 3, it's a jump shot for him. It's like nothing sometimes. And it's pretty special and it's pretty difficult to defend if you're, Anthony Davis, someone who, if you take him out of the key, okay, there's so much more open space in the middle. And if you put him down in there, then obviously he's going to get to work and find the open man and or just get his. But AD also did a pretty good job on him getting those 2 blocks.
Jokic had 34 points. He had 21 rebounds. He had 14 assists in this game. He did have 5 turnovers, and he only had 3 points in the fourth quarter. So
wow,
that was impactful. Meanwhile,
Rui.
40 points, 10 rebounds. He also had 3 steals, 2 blocks.
I think Jeff Van Gundy or Mark Jackson said this in the first half or whenever he had 26 points in this game. It was when he had 26 points, they're like, AD has 26 points, but it just doesn't, feel like he's having one of his best games ever. Or how impactful is it really right now?
But because Jokic was doing everything.
Exactly.
The guy rebounding like crazy, setting up his teammates. It seemed like Denver was getting a lot of great looks just because Jokic was setting the screen. And I don't know what they were thinking early, the Lakers, going under on some of these screens.
Sure.
Schroeder was John at his own bench going, can we stop doing this? Eventually they did change that, but that was a problem because they're going underneath and they're getting open looks.
Yeah.
I mean, their role guys tonight helped out. KCP gave him 21 points against his former team.
Good for him.
He was 9 of 17 shooting, right? Bruce Brown gave you 16. I think if you're the Lakers tonight, you feel so good because you're like, is KCP going to do that next game?
That you end up shooting almost 55% from the field, and thinking about it, you're exactly right, Deuce. Like your shooting numbers at the end of this game were solid, And look how many times you got to the free throw line. They shot 23 of 26 free throws. But you're exactly right. You're not expecting Green to knock down all those corner threes. You're not expecting KCP to step up and have that type of game. Bruce Brown, you know he can get his. But what adjustments can you make that you can take from this first game, putting Rui on Jokic?
And
like those little things will
Bruce
help.
Brown tonight was just killing you in transition early, right? You were not stopping the ball at all. Meanwhile, Jokic, it just seems like he's going to be on this tear. I don't know what you can do to totally stop him. It worked tonight. It did work tonight in the fourth quarter. Does that work for game 2? I don't know. But if I'm Darvin Ham, I'm starting that lineup. I think you start with Schroeder, Reeves, Rui, LeBron, and AD. Go with what worked. That's what worked. And I know it's going to be tough for someone like D'Angelo Russell to swallow maybe. But I don't know. I mean, this lineup is what won you the game.
Yeah. No,
not won you the game. Got you back. This is how messed up I am. This is the lineup that got you back in the game.
Yeah. No.
Jesus.
And that's exactly it. It really was. But Deuce, they would have won the game, obviously, you guys, if they didn't get in that hole to start the game, right? That was the thing that just crushed them. A 21-point lead and then trying to fight back from that in a Western Conference Finals game. It's wild to think about the way that they got back into this one. But another guy I really wanted to mention, because this is something we brought up the other day, Deuce, was Jared Vanderbilt. And we had questions surrounding how much will he play? What will he do? Like, hey, is he going to get his time? Because they're going to need him defensively out there. They're going to need some length out there. When he was out there, he was just a liability on the offensive end. Guys were able to sink in from Denver's defense. They were able to just pack the paint, do what they want there. They didn't even have to guard him on the outside. And so obviously Ham had to take him out.
Yeah. And when Rui's giving you what he did, Austin Reeves knocked down some big time shots in the fourth quarter to help them out. Schroeder is bringing that level of intensity on defense. Well, you're going to roll with that group. And, hey, it's going to change. This series is going to change a lot. That worked at the end of the game 1, but what adjustments does Michael Malone make? And I feel like that's what we're talking about more so is what adjustments can Denver make to open things up if they elect to go that same route in game 2 with Rui matched up against Jokic and AD roaming. But this game and this series has the potential to be really fun. I thought this, even though it seemed like it was a blowout, it was just fun to watch. The first half was fun to watch, to see Denver push the pace like crazy, the way Jokic was playing, and then seeing how the Lakers got back in the game. This is what I love about the playoffs, the adjustments, the tweaks, great players putting up big-time numbers. That we haven't even mentioned LeBron James tonight, who was 1 assist away from a triple-double.
That guy.
He missed a big 3 late. He ended up being 0 for 4 from 3, but he had 26 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists in this game.
How many free throws did he end up with?
He was 8 of 11 at the free throw line. AD 11 for 11.
Yeah, so, LeBron James, fantastic job not settling not settling the entire game. When he did take the ball in, when he did drive, it was just an efficient play. It was exactly what the offense needed to see. And I know as he gets older, that takes a little bit more out of him in a game like this, where he is already running up and down the floor, keeping up with people. But at the same time, they're just going to need that from him this entire series.
If you're a basketball fan, I say this all the time in the playoffs. Soak this shit in.
Soak this shit in.
Soak it in. You saw AD drop 40 tonight.
Yeah.
You saw Jokic put up a legendary type performance, well, except for the fourth quarter.
I know.
But 34, 21, 14. He had a couple of blocks. He had one on AD. He is playing at such a crazy high level. And now it's, can they get significant contributions in this series from other guys? I feel like Murray had some really nice moments in this game. I think that's the one area tonight we haven't talked enough about. Murray hit some big shots for them. And I know he looked gassed at the end of this game, dealing with Schroeder and him hounding him and then dealing with LeBron on the other end. But he hit some big-time threes.
Yeah.
He had some nice attacks. He looked like a good co-star tonight.
Oh, he absolutely did. And I mean, when he was out there, I felt confident with him with the basketball. You know, if it wasn't Jokic taking the ball up, being the point guard that he can be at times, Murray did a great job. But, another guy we didn't mention too, Michael Porter Jr. And I I say him because sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get from him, especially when it's
And that's what I feel
this
like
type of
tonight.
game.
I mean, he did have a double-double. I think, yeah, he had some nice moments.
He
I feel
did.
like
He had
there are
some
times you
blocks
want
in
more,
there.
though. You want more.
I
You
get
want more
that.
scoring.
I understand that, Deuce, but sometimes when you're going to get production from your bench from a guy like Bruce Brown, then it's okay that Michael Porter Jr. is still, knocking down some threes, grabbing some rebounds and using his length to be out there and to disrupt on the defensive end, especially when he used to be a liability on the defensive end.
He did have a bad foul on LeBron late, though, when they were in the penalty. And that was the other thing the Lakers got in the penalty. No, they need him to score a little more. But you're right tonight. Other guys lifted. I don't think you can count on KCP giving you 20
You can't.
in this series. Okay,
You
it
can't.
worked tonight. But the Nuggets do take game one. If you're the Lakers, you see if that works again in game two. And your goal is to just get one. Your goal is just to get one in Denver and go back to LA. Overall, I thought it was an awesome game.
I agree.
Am I overhyping this game?
No.
'Cause you said it was boring sometimes.
No, when it felt like it got out of hand in that first half, I was like, this is the type of game we're going to get. But then you still had, like you said, you still had Jokic doing some incredible things and then knocking down that, crazy three at the end of whatever quarter that was. Was that right
The end
before
of
the
the
half?
third.
Yeah. Or the end of the third. Okay. Yeah. It was just that performance in the first half from the Nuggets was fun. But you're like, this game is over. And then the comeback from the Lakers in that second half made the game obviously more fun in what it was. And so, yeah, we're not overhyping it.
I just thought there were some crazy sequences too. Remember late in the game, loose ball. It looked like everyone was diving for it. Nuggets come away with it, and Murray throws that lob to Gordon in transition. But the Lakers come down.
God.
They knock down shot. I mean, the shot making in this game was crazy. The shooting numbers almost identical to 54.8% shooting for the Lakers, 54.9% for Denver. Not a lot of turnovers at all. LA had 7 in the game. They had 30 assists, 7 turnovers. Denver had 29 assists, 11 turnovers. Not a bad number there, but points off turnovers, those are big. Denver only scored 5 points off those 7 turnovers. LA scored 14 off the 11 turnovers. 3-point shooting, 15 of 32 for Denver, 11 for 24 from the Lakers. This could be a good series.
And it set up like so much going forward of, okay, so is that what the Lakers are going to do? And we've already talked about this 7 times during this podcast, but truly, what I think the biggest question is, what are the Nuggets going to do? What adjustments are they going to make to the Lakers adjustments? And to me, that's exciting.
Well, we're going to have content all NBA postseason, offseason. So make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We love you guys so much. Bring on game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals.